Where are these scars actually from? What does clown makeup symbolize? And what the hell is the joke? The Joker never told us, but all three questions have one simple and logical answer that permeates every story featuring the Joker, both in films and comics. Only Batman knows this answer. Let's figure it out together. Gangster, anarchist, oppressed resident. All versions of the Joker laugh at the same things. Heath Ledger's Joker, for example, tells us different stories about the origin of his scars, but at their core, they share the same motive. No matter how terrible the world is, you have to smile and pretend that everything is fine. First, he recounts how his father was a drunken monster who beat his mother. One day, his father got so angry that he stabbed her, then turned to his son and told him to smile and pretend everything was okay before carving a smile into his face with a blade. In another story, he says his wife, an avid gambler, told him he was too sad and needed to smile more. After she lost big, people came to collect the debt and cut her face. To support her, the Joker carved a smile on his own face. In Joker, Phoenix's character learns that his mother's boyfriend chained him to a radiator and beat him severely, but his mother insisted that despite everything, he needed to smile. She taught him that no matter how bad things are, you should appear happy and create the illusion of well-being. As a child, the Joker learned to smile when things were bad. He expressed his pain through laughter and never cried out loud. He was always seen as a cheerful boy. In the opening scene of Joker, he tries to pull his mouth into a smile, drawing smiley faces on himself. In Murray Franklin's dressing room, he writes a phrase on the mirror, "Put on a happy face." Even when he pulls a sad Bruce Wayne into a smile, he underscores the idea that even if you're deeply unhappy, you shouldn't show it. The Joker's scars, his clown makeup, and his manic laughter are all symbols of this distorted reality. They are his way of coping with a world that's grotesque and indifferent. For him, pain is a punchline, and tragedy is a comedy. Jack Nicholson's Joker invents a poison that makes people smile. He even shoots a commercial for this poison, suggesting people have already embraced it. All these names are just jokes, he says, implying people have already bought into his twisted sense of humor. The point he's making is stark. People are indifferent to injustice, cruelty, and violence. His own perpetual smile, a result of a forced childhood, reflects this indifference. He embraces it literally, even radically. If everyone around him pretends that what's happening is normal, he will exaggerate these norms to show their true, violent nature, making everyone laugh together in the end. Ledger's Joker burns money and spits on social institutions, killing and sowing chaos without remorse. Nicholson's Joker revels in anarchy, distributing money to greedy citizens before poisoning them. He destroys societal artifacts in museums, showing his disdain for a culture that values paintings over people. Phoenix's Joker sets the city on fire, drawing a bloody smile on his face. He promised to become a real comedian and make others laugh, and he keeps his promise. He smiles and forces a happy face on others. The Joker sees the world without rose-colored glasses, without pretense, which society equates to madness. The worst part is that he's forced to act as if what's happening around him is normal, playing along with the farce. In his notebooks, he writes, "The worst part about having a mental illness is people expect you to behave as if you don't." The whole world seems insane to him, and he can't tell if his smile is abnormal or if it's the world that's out of sync. For him, comedy and tragedy are intertwined. He laughs at humiliation, misfortune, and death. One of the Joker's recurring jokes is darkly simple. "It's the police, ma'am. Your son was hit by a drunk driver. He died." He reflects, "I used to think my life was a tragedy. Now I realize it's a comedy." This encapsulates his worldview. The grotesque, the tragic, and the hilarious are indistinguishable. Many people struggle to accept Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, often comparing him unfavorably to Ledger's charismatic genius portrayal. Phoenix's Joker is seen by some as a whiner, and his story is non-canonical. But what is canon in the world of Batman or the Joker? The Joker is not a static, monolithic character. He is an amalgamation of many different stories unified by a single philosophy and idea. Batman comics encompass over 800 issues, with countless interpretations and events. It's important to understand that comics are not written by a single studio. They are a collaboration of many voices and visions, each contributing to the ever-evolving mythology of these iconic characters. Comics are written by authors, and each author interprets the characters in their own unique way. Over different periods, Batman comics and the Joker have addressed various issues, reflecting the needs of different generations. Dozens of authors have contributed to these stories, each bringing their own vision to the characters. In the comics industry, there's the concept of a run, a series of issues written by one specific author or a team, which can range from 5 issues to 50. Todd Phillips's Joker should be seen as another such run. It doesn't contradict the character's core philosophy. Phillips argues that making a socially significant movie like Taxi Driver or One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is only possible now if it's disguised as a story about a comic character. Essentially, Joaquin Phoenix's character is Travis Bickle, or Randall McMurphy set in Gotham. Remove the clown makeup, the city name, and the Wayne family references, and it's the same story. The Joker is the perfect character for this kind of narrative because he's an unreliable narrator. At the end of Joker, the film refers to the legendary comic The Killing Joke by Alan Moore, where the Joker also tells conflicting stories about his past. He speaks to a psychiatrist, sharing different versions of his life, ultimately admitting he doesn't know which story is true. The point is that all these stories are terrible tales about how he became who he is. He could have hated his father, or perhaps his wife died during childbirth. Or maybe she was a gambler who owed money to loan sharks. Maybe he was an unlucky artist. The Joker embodies all these stories, with countless versions of his origin. These scars, both physical and metaphorical, represent the shattered lives of people. The Joker is the voice of the oppressed, those whom society has scarred deeply. He remembers all these stories because he is all these people. His final joke, which we cannot understand, unites all these tales. Death is insignificant. No one cares about the orphaned boy. A frame of the Wayne family echoes the Joker's scene in the alley. One bad day can make all the difference. The main character and the main villain in Gotham share similar origins, confronting the same problems in different ways. Gotham is a city where each generation, or even decade, faces new challenges. A single random day can give rise to a new Joker. Regarding the canonicity of Joker, Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal is just one of many, highlighting the similarities in the origins of previous Jokers and Batmans. Both characters were born under similar circumstances and fight the same problem but with different methods. The Joker, rising from the bottom, destroys social institutions, burns money, and sows anarchy, trying to tackle the root causes from above. Batman, the billionaire's son who contributes to Gotham's troubles, fights the symptoms with his fists, battling small-time criminals. Batman and the Joker are two sides of the same coin. In The Killing Joke, Batman offers a truce, asking the Joker to renounce violence. The Joker responds that it's too late, not because he can't change, but because the world will always be unjust. Until the world's absurdity is acknowledged, no one will care about you. It's all futile. Comics are a unique genre, akin to myths, where stories can be endlessly created from familiar images without the burden of excessive exposition. DC fundamentally avoids revealing the Joker's true origin. The concept of the unreliable narrator allows creators like Nolan, Snyder, or Phillips to add new layers of meaning and references, crafting stories that become canon. These narratives, approved by studios, blend unique ideas with existing myths. Sometimes these stories are outstanding, sometimes they are good attractions, and other times, they fall in the middle. Regardless, this genre has enough space for everyone. Often, people misinterpret Joseph Campbell's ideas, thinking all myths and stories are fundamentally the same. However, the reality is quite the opposite. Comics exemplify that one story can be told in 1,000 ways. A single conflict can be explored anew, reflecting the era, place, and circumstances, making even a small action significant in multiple ways. In the end, it's about the same hero with 1,000 scars. Thanks for watching.